Bonjour and welcome to a new video on Paris Top Tips. Today we're diving into the top 10 things to do in Paris when traveling with kids. I'm starting here in the beautiful greenhouses of the Jardin des Plantes, a perfect place for a peaceful moment before we embark on an adventure through the most exciting spots the city has to offer for families. From hands-on museum to thrilling rides and even a hot air balloon, there's something for every young explorer in Paris. Of course, they'll love joining you for an adventure up the Eiffel Tower or a breathtaking sunset cruise. But today, I want to share some unique activities beyond the usual highlights, ones that will make this trip to the City of Light unforgettable for you kids. First up, the Grande Galerie de l'Évolution at the National Museum of Natural History. It is a stunning exhibition that brings the natural world to life. It features lifelike displays of animals from land, sea and air, showcasing biodiversity in a beautifully immersive setting. Kids will be fascinated by the dramatic lighting and impressive lifelike models, making it both an educational and awe-inspiring experience. And it's free for them. Next, just a short walk away, is the Ménagerie at the Jardin des Plantes, one of the world's oldest zoos. It offers a delightful outdoor experience for kids, with a wide variety of animals to discover. This zoo mainly features smaller animals, while the zoo in the Bois de Vincennes is home to larger species. My personal favorites here are the red panda and the binturong that we'll see just after, both fascinating creatures that add to the charm of this historic zoo. Here's the binturong. This is the largest animal in this zoo, the gaur, or Indian bison. We'll enter through here in the beautiful aviary of the Ménagerie, a peaceful spot filled with colorful birds and a serene atmosphere. Speaking of colorful birds, these pink flamingos really steal the show. Just next to them is the vivarium. Don't go in if you're afraid of creepy creatures. Don't you think she's adorable? Still more colorful birds to admire. Even though the zoo focuses on smaller animals, there are still some big cats to see. Here we have a Chinese panther. Unfortunately, since it has just rained, the animals are seeking shelter. Like these playful caracals. These Arabic oryx don't seem to fear the rain. There's major construction happening in the center of the zoo to create a spacious new habitat for the 5 orangutans. Tucked away in the Palais de la Porte Dorée, beneath the Museum of the History of Immigration, you'll find the Tropical Aquarium. There is another aquarium in Paris, near the Trocadero, which is twice as big. However, in my opinion, the Tropical Aquarium is not only half the price for adults to visit, but it's also free for children, and it's more captivating to explore. Here, the kids won't break the bank. The Cité des Sciences et de l'Industrie, City of Sciences and Industry, is not just any museum. Firstly, it is the largest science museum in Europe. Beyond its primary mission of disseminating scientific culture, the museum strives to engage all audiences, encouraging visitors to take on an active role and utilizing the latest technologies. The permanent exhibitions are organized into major themes such as mathematics, space, genetics. Let's first explore the section dedicated to the world of sounds. Visitors are encouraged to conduct engaging experiments, all with the aim of scientific discovery.
Bonjour et bienvenue.
Bonjour et bienvenue.
Our ear is very sensitive to any variation in the human voice.
Although the design of the various workshops may appear somewhat dated, the experiences themselves remain entirely relevant today.
Essaie de faire un grand sourire pour voir.
The museum offers such a wealth of discoveries, with so many scientific themes covered, that this video could easily extend for hours. And don't forget about the planetarium and the aquarium. And let's not forget about the iconic silver bowl outside, the Géode. It's a mirror-finished geodesic dome that holds an IMAX theater. Did I mention there's also a submarine to visit? Not only are the Luxembourg Gardens perhaps the most beautiful park in Paris, where you can have a very pleasant picnic, but they're also the most enjoyable for kids. Kids love sailing toy boats on the pond at the Luxembourg Gardens, creating delightful memories as they watch them glide across the water. And honestly, what parent wouldn't want to be there too, surrounded by such beautiful scenery? And it will cost only €6 per boat for half an hour. Our sixth top activity takes place in the 11th arrondissement and is called the Atelier des Lumières. Once a steel foundry, this venue has been transformed into a digital art center, which opened its doors in 2018. L'Atelier des Lumières offers immersive exhibition where visitors are encouraged to wander through the space and discover thousands of digitized images of artworks accompanied by a musical composition. This creates the sensation of being fully immersed in the paintings. I had to mute the sound of these musical works to avoid copyright infringement. Until early January 2025, the theme of the immersive exhibition is the Egypt of the Pharaohs, from Cheops to Ramses II. It alternates with an exhibition about Van Gogh paintings. Starting in October 2024, the Van Gogh exhibition will be replaced by an exhibition about Asterix, the famous Gallic warrior created by Uderzo and Goscinny. It's a bit expensive, but it's totally worth it. Let's now soar above with Le Ballon de Paris. This tethered balloon provides a delightful 10-minute excursion above the rooftops of Paris, gliding over the Parc André Citroën, located at the southwest corner of the 15th arrondissement. As you can see here, we are lower than the Montparnasse Tower's rooftop, but from here we gain a unique perspective over Paris. The balloon can accommodate up to 30 passengers and ascend up to 150 meters high. The balloon is tethered to the ground with a cable, which is controlled by a hydroelectric winch. While coming to Paris may be the trip of their short lives, some children might still complain about missing out on a swimming pool or beach during their vacation. Well, with Aqua Boulevard, that's not entirely true. With its wave pool, wake box, and 11 slides, it guarantees fun for the whole family. And there's even a sandy beach. When it's not vacation time for Parisian students, Aqua Boulevard is only open on weekends, which is why you won't see anyone in the footage I recorded. The truth is, it's quite expensive. It's pouring rain and I'm feeling a bit down, though I find myself in one of the happiest places for kids in Paris, Le Jardin d'Acclimatation. With its rides, games and even a mini zoo, this place is a paradise for young adventurers. Okay, it's not Disneyland, but there are dozens of fun activities for children, and it's in the Bois de Boulogne, so it's inside Paris. This is the only carousel you'll see operating in the video. In fact, it rained so heavily in late September that I had to wait for a lull in the late afternoon to film, and by then the rides were no longer in operation. But it's beautiful in the rain too, says the guy whose voice is hoarse for being out in the downpour for too long. There are playgrounds sprinkled everywhere throughout the garden. And animals too. Starting in spring, a new roller coaster will be opening here, even faster and more thrilling. We are clearly in a garden, and a magnificent one at that. Architecture enthusiasts can admire the Louis Vuitton Foundation, designed by the renowned architect Frank Gehry. There's also a giant aviary filled with hundreds of exotic birds. As we say in France, after the rains comes the beautiful weather. Alright, this last attraction might not need an introduction. However, Disneyland is definitely a place your children will want to visit, or the nearby Disney studios. But it's incredibly pricey. Before we wrap up, one last thing. Have your child sit for a fun and memorable portrait in the artistic heart of Montmartre at Place du Tertre. I hope you enjoyed this video and found it helpful. If you did you know that a like, or even better, subscribing, makes a huge difference with the YouTube algorithm?